Well, I said early in the week I felt like they were the best team that we've played in all three phases, and it certainly looked like that tonight. I stressed to our team about the ability to stop the run, which we didn't do as well as we needed to. We certainly didn't run it very well at all. We got whipped up front on offense. Staying on the field, we're 3 of 14 on third down and 12 of 16 defensively. The two of the major emphasis going into the game. So it's very disappointing with the outcome, but they give those guys credit. They played well, and disappointed for our fans. We had a great outing there tonight in Williams-Brice with our fan base, and I hate that we didn't do a better job. But we're going to get back to work. I told our guys we were facing some adversity in these last two outings, and we got to turn it around. We look forward to traveling to Oxford to play Ole Miss. We need to get it turned around. I'll open up for any questions.
David with the first one.
Will, what was the thinking behind trying to throw deep so much early and not run the ball with Kevin Harris?
Well, they were loading the box, and they were leaving us open. And obviously, you hit the post route early in the game. It's a total change the complexion of the game. Another post that goes through Jalen's hands. We dropped two. One was for a touchdown. But they were loading the box, so we were going to take our shots deep. And that's what we did, and we didn't hit them. And we had a hard time running it as they loaded the box, and we got whipped up front. But, I mean, we need to catch the ball. If we catch the ball, it's a different complexion of the game early in the ball game.
Ben Brunner.
Will, after a performance like that, you starting to turn out, where does that start?
Yeah, we can't hear you, Ben.
Can you hear me?
A little better.
Well, after a performance like that, just where do you kind of start when you're trying to turn a team around? Where does that begin?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Ben.
Okay. Go to the next person. I'm going to figure that out.
Let's go to Colin Taylor.
Yeah, well, just coming off a bye week, how concerning of a performance is that for you guys? And is there any kind of explanation you have as to why the team didn't play as better as they probably could have?
Well, we got whipped up front on offense, and we can't sustain any drives. We can't stay on the field against a team that's a ball possession, time possession, running football team. Same thing happened to us last year later in the game. The dagger was the touchdown before half. You got 3rd and 1. And we got to get a stop right there. They bust it. We don't make the play out of the middle of the field, and they go up 21 at half instead of a 14 or 17-point game. So again, disappointed with it. We'll go back and look at it. I do feel like this is the best team we've played all year. We didn't match up to their physicality on either line of scrimmage, and that's been the case the last 2 years with this group.
Josh Kendall.
Will, did you see any signs this week that worried you in terms of your preparation?
No, I felt like we had a good week and just didn't translate to Saturday night.
Eric Boynton.
Yeah, well, your thoughts on what was maybe happening with Colin Hill out there tonight? Obviously, he has since he joined you guys.
Well, again, I think if we make some catches early in the game, that's a different complexion of the game, in my opinion. We had some huge ones down the field that we got to catch the ball. We missed a screen that was open. We had it blocked well, but he needs to be more accurate with the football, in some other situations, and we'll make that evaluation tomorrow as we go through the tape as a staff and as we continue to move forward. And whatever gives us the best, opportunity to win the game at whatever position it is, that's what we'll do.
John Whittle.
Will, you mentioned getting whipped up front on both lines of scrimmage, but just overall, do you feel like your guys played with a proper effort this game?
Yeah, I absolutely do. No doubt about it.
David,
what did you see out there from them that makes you feel so firmly in that?
What's that?
What did you see out there from their play that makes you feel so firmly in that?
I think it's a lack of effort, John. I think it's physically at times we got outmatched up front. They were very big up front. We had a hard time moving them. We knew going into the game we needed to run more stretch and perimeter plays. We didn't block very well at the receiver position on the perimeter. We didn't get some things going as well as we needed to get going. I mean, they're just in all efforts, but that has nothing to do with effort. Sometimes you get whipped physically as an athlete, and that happens.
David.
Will, do you expect RJ and Shiloh to be back next week?
Yeah.
Josh Kendall?
In terms of them defensively, did you expect them to stack the box and to have those shots, or did you feel like you'd have more of an opportunity to run into some looks that you felt like you had a shot at?
No, we felt like early in the game that we had to take some shots to get them off of us, but you got to hit the shots. We didn't hit them.
Ben?
Hey, can you hear me? I wanted to ask, what did you try to look for? What did you try to get out of those snaps from Ryan and Luke?
Yeah, we still can't get you, Ben, for whatever reason. You just ask somebody else to ask the question. We'll go to Joe Gorchow.
Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Just when you mentioned Colin Hill and evaluating maybe potentially the quarterback position, is that something you're really going to consider this week, just based on the performance, and try to energize and maybe incorporate maybe a 2-quarterback system like we saw at times with Luke Doty? Is everything on the table this week?
Yeah, we got to do what it takes to win games. We were not productive enough offensively, obviously. So we got to look at what we're doing and who's doing it, and get better.
Josh Kendall?
In terms of the decision to switch in the fourth quarter with Ryan, what was very limited action, obviously.
Sorry, it stopped. I couldn't hear everything you said.
The complete game that y'all are looking for. Is there anything that you saw coming up that
Yeah, if you're not talking, please mute. Yeah, mute yourself if you're not already muted.
Yes.
Go ahead, Josh.
In terms of the decision to make the change at quarterback, at what point did you and Mike start talking about that tonight, and what did you think you got out of Ryan and what was obviously very limited?
Ryan did a good job. We didn't get off the field on defense. So at the end of the day, we wish he'd had more turns and possessions. But we had those discussions throughout the game to spark some things on offense. Felt like Luke came in and did some good things with some things that we're doing with him, and that'll continue to increase if it's going to help us win ball games, and that's going to be a week-to-week process.
Go to Hale.
Will, can you hear me? What's your message to the fan base? Some of whom may be a little
good. I hope they're pissed off, and that's fine. And in the last 2 performances, I don't think there's any doubt they should be disappointed with how we played and performed and how we coached. We're going to continue to work, and we've had success here. Our first 3 years as a tenure, we had won more games than any other coach did in here, and we plan on continuing to have success here. And I think we've recruited well. I think we've got good players in our program. I'm disappointed with our last 2 outings.
Let's go to Eric Boynton.
Yeah, Will, Jalen Brooks, I know how you guys were on him during the preseason. He hasn't been able to get himself involved these first 2 games. Is it just a matter of him kind of getting used to things and getting used to play, or have you just, what is kind of the deal with him?
I think he's got to catch the football. I don't know what else to say. He's got opportunities, and we took some shots in the last ball game as well. He got a pass interference down the field, but we'll continue. I still got a lot of faith in Jalen. Jalen's a good football player. He's going to be fine.
Colin Taylor.
Yeah, well, just how concerning have these last 2 outings in terms of just offensive production been? How concerning is that for you, and what can you guys do to improve that?
And against LSU, we averaged 8 yards a play offensively. So that was if we can do that and finish drives, we missed 3 field goals in that game. That's why I sent Parker out at the end. We don't have a 41-point play in our playbook, so we needed to get some confidence for him to go hit a field goal. He hit the one that he missed early in the second quarter, and felt like he just pulled it a little bit, but he hit it well, and that was something we needed to have. But we needed him to get some confidence going into our next ball game in that situation. But offensively, we didn't finish some drives in Baton Rouge, but you average 8 yards a play, you ought to have some success. That wasn't the offense's issue tonight. Obviously, we didn't have the production we needed to win the game, to stay on the field, to keep our defense off the field. It's a team game, and we didn't play that well tonight. That way tonight.
Josh Kendall.
Will, you talked about getting back to work and starting to fix things. Where do you start after the last 2 weeks?
I mean, again, you try and be technical in your approach of what you did. I think, again, offensively in the LSU game, you can't throw an interception for a touchdown, all right? But when you average 8 yards a play, you're having some success doing something. We need to be more efficient throwing the football. We've been really good running the ball until tonight. And we got to go back, and obviously I think that they're pretty good up front. They got after us. We had a hard time blocking their front and getting a hat on a hat in the run game. And then we got to continue to explore on some things defensively. We wore out defensively, just like last year. We played 41 snaps in the first half, and I knew that the second half was going to be tough sledding from a standpoint of the fatigue that goes through when you play, against Jimbo and how he's going to orchestrate the offense. And I knew that that was going to be an issue in the second half. So we have to get off the field on third down. We were 12 of 16, or they were 12 of 16. We don't stay on the field on offense, 3 of 14. So it's one of the critical factors. Knowing going into the game, we didn't get it done, and we've got to get those done.
John Whittle.
Do you feel like there's some answers on this team going forward? What gives you a little bit of optimism going into the last month of the season?
Well, I've seen some flashes, with our football team. Not as much defensively in the last 2 weeks. I think we did improve from our last ball game as far as in the run game with some things that we did. It got sloppy late, which is disappointing. But again, I think that there's been some flashes here. But John, we just got to be more consistent in what we do. We have to have more consistency in what we do. We need to be more efficient throwing the ball. And until tonight, we have run the ball well in most games in situations where we've needed to run the ball. And again, I think that we've got to continue to explore the things we need to do throwing the football to be more efficient throwing the ball. But again, you drop a post in the first drive of the game for a touchdown, that does change the complexion of things on a team that needs some confidence, and that would have provided a lot. Another second drive, another opportunity down the field is going to be a 30 or 40-yard gain. So again, those are things we've got to continue to – we got to hit on those plays, and we haven't hit those plays.
Last question goes to Colin Taylor.
Yeah, we talked about this team needing some confidence. Can you manufacture that, or how does that kind of have to happen? Does it have to happen naturally for you guys?
You rep it in practice to create confidence, to give yourself an opportunity on game day, and you got to do it on game day against good people, and they got a good team. Like I've said before, I said starting out, I told Jimbo when the game was over, I thought it was the best team we've played this year, just in all three phases. I mean, we've played some other parts of teams that have been better, yeah, but I'm talking about in all three phases, they got a really good team.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.